Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk about certain thoughts or quotations and investments and explain it a little in brief so that you can use it and learn from it. So let's start with the first one, which is from Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds by Charles Mackay. He said something very sensible, so let me quote it exactly as it is. He says, "Men, it has been well said, think in terms of herds, think in herds, sorry. It will be seen that they go mad in herds, while they only recover their senses slowly and one by one." This is absolutely true, and I say the reverse also. When bubble is getting built up, you don't realize that such a big bubble is getting built up. It's like in a theater. If you move into the theater very early for, let's say, a 6 p.m. show, you moved in at say 5:20 or 5:30, you will realize that people come in ones and twos, and then they go out, maybe they go to the loo, maybe they go to buy popcorn, and then they come and slowly settle down, they look around, right? So they do all that. They come in very slowly. But everybody will leave at the end of the movie. They will leave together, right? We will all leave at the same time. Similarly, in a bubble which is getting built, people come in slowly, then they see the people around them, then they go and call their friends, right? So that's how slowly the bubble gets built up, and when the bubble bursts, everybody gets out at the same time. So we do think, we do copy people, we do that, and then we justify also saying, no, he's a chartered accountant, he's a lawyer or something like that. That is to fool ourselves. So whenever there is something which everybody is doing, it doesn't mean you have to do. In so many years in the market, I've never got carried away by F&O. And today, the young investors who are maybe in their 20s tell me, oh, it's a waste that you are investing. You see the kind of return that I'm making in F&O and things like that. Well, it's up to you as to how much wealth you're going to create in the long run. So getting mad by thinking in herds and getting into a bubble, getting into all that is easy. Coming out of it will be one by one, and we will all learn our lessons from the market. So this was one. The second one is this. I think I want to skip. Fear incites human action far more urgently than does the impressive weight of historical evidence. This was Jeremy Siegel. Jeremy Siegel is, of course, one of the I would say brilliant writers. What he says is absolutely true, because one story, when you say, oh, this 37-year-old died in an accident or heart attack or something like that, that day it is easy to sell life insurance to all his classmates. You have to know who are his classmates. You have to, maybe it sounds obscene to make a sales pitch at the cremation ground, but that is the place where it says that fear that this could happen to me is far greater than telling a person, oh, it costs only about maybe less than 1 lakh for a 1 crore insurance at your age or whatever. All that you say, nothing will sell, right? What really sells is one action. And to think that I think Morgan Housel says that 0.00001% of the world of what happens to you is going to impact what is happening in the world, but you still will fear that one incident more than all the historical data which says why you should have term insurance, right? So that trigger is needed. COVID increased the amount of general insurance, which is health, and life insurance which people took. People like me even took a COVID insurance. Didn't need it, it's a different thing. But yes, we just took, you see a fear, you will act on it rather than any great amount of data. Do you think people take the same amount of medical insurance and life insurance today after we have assumed that COVID is gone? No, none of us do that, right? So that impact of one single event is huge compared to the historical data which somebody can hit you with. There's an old Persian proverb which says it has to be really dark before you can see the stars. This is absolutely true when you're buying a company which is doing badly. It has to be completely dark. I remember once telling somebody, look, that guy is coming and pleading with you to take over his business. Why aren't you taking over? And this fellow, this businessman said, yeah, I see him rubbing his nose, but his nose is not bleeding, right? When a company is completely dark, that may be a great time to be investing, but to know whether it is a falling knife or whether it is a good investment is not going to be very easy. But yes, it has to be very dark before you can see the stars. In fact, if you go out of big cities, if you go into smaller, into forest areas where it is pitch dark and there is no light pollution is there, that you can see the stars. Why can't you see the stars in Bombay? Maybe it's pollution. Helen Meisler says, nothing like price to change the sentiment. Absolutely true. At 8 rupees, nobody wanted to buy Suzlon. At 40 rupees, everybody thinks it's a great engineering company, etc., etc., etc. It becomes a great buy. So, right, so I'm not even suggesting, I'm just giving you an example. Similarly, Tata Power was at 80, came down to 30, and now it is 330 or maybe 360. I haven't seen the latest price. Right, what happens? Slight change in price, and everybody then says, oh, solar energy, this, that, etc. And I'm sure, I don't know whether it is overpriced at 330, but I'm sure it was terribly underpriced at 30. Right, so some change in price and the sentiment completely changes. This one by Charlie Munger I wanted to say, because it's very important for young investors to even hear this and then try to assimilate this in their lives. If you are not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 50%, hear this again, 50%, 2 or 3 times a century, you would not fit to be a common shareholder and you deserve the mediocre result that you are going to get. Absolutely true. I have seen a 50% fall in my portfolio. I have seen a 30% fall in my portfolio. I regularly see 10% falls in my portfolio, but you know it comes back. Right, so you may have to make some small changes. You may get out of some companies, you may get into some companies, but that is switching of portfolio, not emptying of portfolio. The worry is when people empty their portfolios. I know one person, very well educated, and he sold everything at the onset of COVID. He said, oh, market can't sustain this. This is going to take a 3-year thing or a 5-year thing. I know people who went short on the American market or maybe sold everything that they had when Trump came in. You can only see the event. You cannot predict the market. Whoever thought that COVID will see a fantastic recovery in 4 or 5 months, or that the American market will initially go down when Trump came in and then go up? We can't predict markets, and we have to understand and accept that we can't predict markets. Also, I keep saying market timing is something which people like me just can't do, simply because we have too big a portfolio in terms of other assets. Like, there is some gold, there is some debt, there is some real estate. So all that put together, maybe you can do some market timing in one particular share, but the impact on the overall portfolio is insignificant. You cannot do that. You cannot say, oh my God, what happens if Modi doesn't come back in 2024 or does not come back at all in Indian politics, so should I sell off everything? No, the answer is not. Will the market fall? Yes, of course it will fall. Will the market recover? Yes, it will recover. So maybe the market will fall 25%. But you realize that after the event has happened, after the election commission has declared the result saying, oh, so and so has not come. Till then, the market won't come down. And when the market has already come down 25%, it may be a wrong time to do that, right? So be ready for falls and be ready with your reaction. And your reaction has to be, I have 10 years, so I don't have to worry. I have 2 months, so I have to worry. So that's a time when you should be removing. So check out how much patience you have, your own. I've made videos on how to handle crashes, so have a look at that. Thanks. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say, and I didn't say it very well. So Morgan Housel in Psychology of Money says, your personal experience with money make up maybe 0.00001% of what's happening in the world today, but 80% of you think the world, that is how the world works, which is so true. We take our personal experience and stick it and say this is what will be happening in the world. I keep saying my videos are kuch aap beeti and kuch jag beeti, right? Something which has happened to me and something which has happened to the world. So to think what impact it has on the world and on the portfolios, etc., very difficult. And like Morgan Housel says, really no great impact. Yeah, Sir John Templeton's old words that the four most dangerous words in investing are this time it's different. So this time it's different is something which any time when the market goes up or goes down, people say this time it's different. Indians are now not investing, or this time it's different. Every Indian is opening an account with so and so and Grow and Zerodha and HDFC or whatever, right? So they're saying that. Now that does not mean the market is on a permanent bull run. Unfortunately or fortunately, one thing is certain: if the market comes down, the whole world will pump enough money to make sure the market goes up, because today the market does not, world market does not have the resilience to look for a, or to endure a 6-month fall in the market or a 6-year fall in the market. 6 months is the maximum they can take. If the market is continuously down for 5 years or 6 years, like it was, I think 1993 to 1999, I don't think the central governments will sit tight doing nothing. Definitely they will all pump money. They will do something, say abolish capital gains, something they will do to bring the market back up. That's good luck for us, right? Thank you.